Join us as we speak with a whole host of expert navigators through the land of parenting. They'll offer you stories, validation, and a few directions to help you find your way if you're feeling a little lost. Welcome, Karen Young. So Karen began her career as a psychologist and is now recognised as one of Australia's leading authorities on paediatric anxiety and the neurodevelopment of children. She's a sought-after speaker, educator and consultant and works with parents, schools, government bodies and child and adolescent-focused organisations, both in Australia and overseas. Karen's the founder of Hey Sigmund, an internationally popular online resource that provides contemporary research-driven information on anxiety and the neurodevelopment of children. She's written 5 books, including the bestselling Hey Warrior and Hey Awesome, which my niece has really enjoyed, thank you, which creatively assist children to understand and manage anxiety. So thank you so much for joining us, Karen. It's great to have you here.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So we would love to start by asking you to share a bit about yourself and how you got to this point and why you're passionate. So this podcast is Maps for Parents, why you're passionate about one of those aspects, mindfulness, attunement, play or self-care, or maybe all 4. Over to you.
I think if we can, I started working with kids and adults, everybody, but I came to realise pretty quickly that the change happens when we give the adults around those children the support and the information to strengthen their young ones, because they're with them all the time, and they are the armour around their young ones, whether they're children or teenagers. They're the everythingness of their lives. Even as they grow, we can tend to think that they don't need us as much, but honestly, I think at adolescence they need us more than ever, just in different ways. So that's when I started supporting the adults who support young people, which is why I do what I do now.
And how long has Hey Sigmund been around for? I've been following it for a long time.
It's a good question. I think it was about 2014 I started, so 11 years or so now.
I really love a lot of the images that are on there and just those short, you've got your quotes or those short little bursts of wisdom. I think busy parents find that very helpful.
Yeah, thank you. That's the idea, because we don't always have the time we need and just those really quick grabs of inspiration or wisdom, and often it's things that we already know, that parents will already know, but just having those reminders when everything is feeling really stretched and our resources are feeling a bit threadbare, just having those quick, snappy, bite-sized reminders, I think that's the idea of it, is to help parents feel supported. Takes a village, doesn't it?
It really does. And I think it is quite grounding. There's something about it where you're feeling a bit overwhelmed and out of control. And as you say, it's often things that we already know or some part of us knows, and just that little reminder of, okay, it's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I wonder if you can share a story about a map or a set of ideas that you've found helpful for yourself or the parents you work with, and particularly when parenting does feel overwhelming. That's a hard time, isn't it?
I think one of the big ones that I've always led by is just be aware. I mean, it all starts with us. It all starts with that tuning into our own selves and what's important to us, and we lead from there. I think it's so easy sometimes to get pulled out of our lane and pulled off track to what the books are saying or what the websites are saying or what the experts are saying. But I think if we come back to our parenting heart, and one of the things that's really helped me since my kids were little was just tune into your values that are really important and go from there. So my big values were honesty, kindness, courage, respect. If we do that, and it starts with us first, so we respect our own selves and our needs. We're honest with ourselves. We're brave with ourselves and strong, and then we lead from there. So if honesty is a value, for example, we really prioritize when our children are honest with us and and really build them up around that, even if they're being honest about something messy. Respect. Is what they're doing respectful to themselves? Is it respectful to us? It might not feel respectful sometimes, but that's if we lead with kindness there, which is one of the values. We go, help me understand. We don't just punish. We say, help me understand where this is coming from, because there'll always be something. So I just found it as the tune into your values and go from there. It's just a way that I've been able to stay centered throughout and come back to what's important for me. But we really do have to tune into those parts of ourselves that are important first.
I love that. It's been a theme actually with some of the other people that we've spoken to, is just coming back to us and what we need and it's so interesting, isn't it? So much of the voices out there is about how we can fix and change and modify our kids. But if we start with us and remain true, that really sits well with me. I think that's something that I've used a lot as a parent as well, is just coming back to, in this moment we're clashing, it's really hard. What's important to me is not how late you go to bed or how much screen time you're doing. What's important to me is that you have a good life, that you know, well-rounded and have respect and kindness and all the beautiful things that you mentioned. So I love that idea.
How can I be with you and stay true to those values? So if one of my values is honesty and respect, and that includes respect for my own boundaries and what feels okay for me. And right now you're spending a lot of time on screen time, and I know that one of my values is to lead you with strength, kindness, honesty. How can I be with you right now in a way that feels okay? And how can I lead right now in a way that feels honest and kind and brave? So it's not. And this is why I say it has to start with us, because if something doesn't feel right in us, this is where we have to go, okay, is this my stuff? Or is this something which isn't aligning with the values that I'm trying to lead this family with? And how can I be with you right now in a way that is honest and kind and strong, respectful, and lead you through this? Because that's why kids have parents, right? Is to lead, but to lead with love and care.
Beautiful. Yeah, I love everything you're saying. It's all so helpful. And I think, again, it's all in my brain, having just spoken to some different people, that also having a space where we can figure out our values and process all of what you're saying there is really valuable. So another guest was talking about mindfulness and meditation, and I'm thinking that's a good space to figure these things out, carve out a little bit of time. So if parents are feeling a bit lost, and this podcast is called Maps for Parents, so the idea is that we're hopefully giving them some pointers and a map through the bumpy terrain of parenting. What's a true north point? What's been a true north point for you? What's been a touchstone that you've come back to again and again?
Honesty's a massive one. And if I'm going to lead you and lead this family, I need to be honest with myself first. So it's just taking a moment to go, what's my stuff? What's your stuff? What's the space between us? Because sometimes we confuse, I might be really struggling with my child's anger right now. Is that about their anger, or is that about the story that I've put to anger because of my experience around anger when I was little? And as little people, we make decisions about how we're going to sit with feelings from when we're old enough to even realize we're making a decision, and those and how we are with feelings. And is anger okay? Is sadness okay? Is vulnerability okay? And of course, all of them are okay, but sometimes we aren't okay with them in our children. And often, and of course, in the moment, we all lose our mind sometimes. We get shouty. We all do that. That's really normal. But then, of course, we have to come in for a hard repair when that happens. But part of that is reflecting with ourselves and going, okay, what was it about that felt so difficult? Why did I have trouble tuning into that? Why did that feel so uncomfortable for me? Because your anger makes sense. If I step back from it, your anger makes sense, but why am I struggling with it so much? Is it because of those stories I had when I was little that good girls don't get angry, good girls don't argue? I don't know. Is it because I was shamed in anger? Is it because I felt alone in anger? Is it because anger in my house was really volatile and scary, so I made a decision that anger wasn't okay generally? So that starts with me reflecting on my own stuff, or us reflecting on I'm saying me, but I mean as parents generally, reflecting on our own stuff and saying, I'm really struggling with my child being so upset about this thing, or anxious or angry. What is going on there? Maybe they're struggling so much with trying something new, and I'm struggling with them struggling. I want to protect them. Is that about their anxiety, or is it about my distress over their distress? So it really comes back to just being so honest and taking a moment to find out where this is coming from. Because this is the part where I say we want to put the right story to it. So if we are struggling with their anger, it's really easy to put a story to it, which is why I just need to shut down this anger because it's not okay and they're being disrespectful and all of these things. But we're not going to be able to lead them the way we need to lead them unless we find the why behind the anger and the what behind the anger. And to do that, we first of all have to be, I suppose, still enough in ourselves, not take their anger personally, not feel like we need to shut it down. Same with their anxiety, all of it. We don't take their anxiety personally. Are they anxious because they're doing something new? Is my need to protect them from this anxiety because of my ideas about what a good parent should be? Or because I'm scared for them? Or is it because it's a really normal response to want to protect your child from distress, but this is one I don't need to because they're doing something growthful here? So it's tricky, right? Because when we're in those big feeling moments, they escalate really quickly. But there'll be a theme and things will just keep playing out. And it's the in between moments between those big moments where we can reflect with honesty. Honestly, what is going on here? And this story that I'm running, is this one that I swallowed whole when I was little and doesn't work for me anymore? Is it working for my child? Is it working for my family? Do I need to try things a bit different? And especially those stories that are old, because often, these stories have been running since before we even realised there was a different way to be. And we just keep going with them. They just feel like truth. So we keep having the same clashes and the same stuff and the same upsets. But the truth is, if we want to love and lead our children, we need to be honest with ourselves and be able, and so that we can lead them authentically. And it's more about who we are with them and how can we be with them right now and support them through, rather than needing to stop anything that they might be feeling.
Yeah,
right
I love
now.
it. I think I've seen a lot of images of the iceberg with, the behaviour is the tip of the iceberg, and then underneath it is all those needs and feelings. And if we are able to step back and reflect, and in the same way for us, our behaviour is the tip of the iceberg. Yep, there's always a lot underneath, isn't there? So that reflection's so powerful. I've really enjoyed learning a lot from you around anxiety as well. And I'm curious about the connection point between anger and anxiety. Is that something that you've got strong thoughts on? What's your thinking around that?
So my feeling is if we understand anxiety, we'll understand all the feelings, because all feelings come from a felt sense of threat in some way. And anxiety is at the top of the tree with all of this. It is the essence of felt threat. So anger is my brain doesn't feel safe for some reason. It might be I don't have enough power and influence right now. I'm not being heard. I'm not being validated. I'm not being seen. I'm about to miss out on something important. I'm being rushed. I'm feeling like I don't matter and my needs don't matter right now. And I'm not saying the anger is, well, the anger's okay. I'm not saying the behavior is okay, but feelings are always valid if we dig enough for the why. If a behavior or a feeling doesn't make sense, it's because there's part of the story we haven't seen yet. Anger is the fight part of the fight or flight response. So there is always there is anxiety behind it. If we think of anxiety as the brain, a felt sense of threat. Now, it doesn't mean it doesn't mean we are threatened. It doesn't mean we are unsafe. But right now, the brain doesn't feel either. I don't feel physically safe in my body because, I don't know, I might be tired, I might be sick, I might be rushing, might be sensory, so many things. Or I don't feel relationally okay right now. I'm feeling judged, I'm feeling humiliated, I'm feeling like my adult's about to disconnect from me. I don't have enough power and influence right now. All really valid needs. Or maybe my resources are just so stretched right now. There's not enough predictability. I'm having to make so many decisions here. Things, we've changed plans. This isn't what we're meant to be doing now. And I'm being shifted out of this really quickly. I just need a second to adjust, maybe 5 minutes worth of seconds to adjust. So there's always a good reason. I'm not saying it justifies the behavior. What I'm saying is the feeling makes sense. It might just be that our stress tanks are full from a really big day. But with anger, there's always something else underneath anger. And anger is also the brain and body's way to stop more vulnerable feelings coming through. So anger is very empowering. Although we do lose a lot of power when we're angry, when we do anger, when we behave in a certain way, we lose power. But it's energizing. I feel more powerful when I'm angry. So sometimes it makes more sense to be the big of anger than the small or the vulnerability of those softer feelings, sadness, loneliness, helplessness, hopelessness. So sometimes the brain says, we've got two options here. I can big you up, or I can shut you down for a bit till things pass over, or to get the support you need, whatever it is. But always it comes from a felt sense of threat, which is anxiety. So when we don't feel anxious, we'll either go big, anger, or we'll go into, that's the fight part. We'll go into flight, avoid, clinginess, addiction, gaming, all sorts of things, perfectionism, or we'll shut down to everything and withdraw. So there's always something else with anger. So the question we want to be asking if our kids are angry is, and what else? And what else? That's the why behind the anger. Now, of course, we want to support our kids to feel all of their feelings, but in a way that isn't going to hurt themselves or other people. So we want no limits on thoughts and feelings, no limits on, you can be as angry as you want. You can be as angry as you want at me. Of course, you can tell me you don't like my decision. You can do that. You don't have to agree with me, because I don't want you to feel like you've got to agree with everybody out there who you'll come across. But we are going to talk about your behaviour. And I am going to hold a really strong boundary around behaviour so you don't hurt yourself or other people, and to make sure I do what I need to do to preserve our connection and keep us relationally safe. But yeah, anger is the fight part of the fight or flight response.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was a really clear explanation. I think it'd be really helpful. I love coming back to that idea that an angry child is often a pretty scared child. So I think that's a really helpful exploration of that. So thank you. And another, I guess, just thinking about things that have really landed with me through your work, one of the things that I repeat to parents that I work with a lot from you is we can believe them that it's really scary, and we can believe in them that
Absolutely.
they can do this. So I really love that one and return to it a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah.
And that's the truth of it. We support how they feel, but it doesn't. But it is our job as their parents or their important adults to lead them in a way that is positive for them and growthful for them. Sometimes that just means sitting with them while they, let out all the energy connected to the feeling. Sometimes it means trusting that they can handle this thing, even when everything in them is telling them they can't handle it. And that's what I mean by we can believe them that this is scary. I know, my darling, I know this feels really big, and I love you too much to let you think that you can't do hard things. So I'm going to believe in you enough for both of us.
Beautiful. Thank you. So I wonder if you would like to share how parents can find you. online or how they can work with you? What are the ways of getting in touch with you, Karen?
Thank you. So everything is on my website, heysigmund.com, H-E-Y as in hey there, and Sigmund, S-I-G-M-U-N-D. All my books are there, all my resources are there. I'm on Instagram, Karen Young Hey Sigmund, Facebook, Karen Young Hey Sigmund. That's where you'll find the bite-sized pieces. And my main book for anxiety, Hey Warrior, even though it's anxiety, it's also for anger. So we've been talking about anger. That's available on the website or all good bookstores. But there's 4 other books there too, lots of other resources. But the website is probably the place to go for any speaking I'm doing, any of the resources there, or Facebook and there's lots of free resources there, lots of free articles, and Instagram and Facebook too.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Karen. Thanks for all that you're doing for families. I think it's such a help to have all these voices supporting parents in such a respectful, caring way and supporting kids in such a way as well. So thank you for everything that you're bringing. And thanks for being here with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
This podcast is produced by Miralinga, thanks to funding from Healthway. I'm Belinda Smith, Manager of Parenting Services at Miralinga. If you'd like to know more, you can visit our website, www.miralinga.org.au, or if you'd like to get in touch, send us an email, parenting@miralinga.org.au, or visit us on socials.